Jill Hennessy has worked her way onto some of the most successful shows on television. For years, her focus was acting, but in 2009, she made a somewhat surprising turn in her career towards music. Now, 6 years later, after her debut album, Jill is back with the follow-up, I Do, which boasts 12 new original tracks that Jill wrote herself. We're so pleased to have her in studio. And this album, I Do, picks up where Ghosts in My Head, your first one, left off.
Exactly. Yeah, the Ghost in My Head was sort of about my childhood here in Canada and traveling, and Ghost in My now I Do actually is more about sort of growing up, having kids. You know, my kids are in a lot of these songs. They inspired a lot of them, and you know, my grandmother is in the song Edmonton, which is one of the tracks. So there's still a lot of people, you know, in this album who inspired me, who moved me. The title track is sort of about relationships, marriage, and the changing perceptions we have as we grow year by year, and how there's no one definition of that. So it's a tightrope walk sometimes, man.
Is there a certain bravery, certain courage you have to just put your life out there? Because there's a lot of personal stuff in these songs.
Yeah, very much so. But I guess I always feel like whatever's most personal is most universal.
Yeah.
And
it's what's true.
Yeah, exactly. And what's really amazing for me is when I do a gig and I'm performing live for people, and they'll approach me afterwards and say, "Wow, I heard that song, Edmonton, and yeah, my parents immigrated from Russia or Mexico," and people are moved by something that they heard, and then they share their stories with me, and that is such a joy. So.
The acting, the music, are they in two separate boxes, or do you just see this as performance?
I sort of see it as all storytelling.
Yeah.
And I'm so honored that people even want to listen, you know, whether I'm using somebody else's dialogue in a film or a TV show.
That's the Canadian humility.
But you know, you're always so psyched, especially I'm used to playing guitar on the street here in Toronto, and you're just honored when somebody actually stops and listens to you, or they'll sing with you. And even when I'm acting, you know, I'm psyched to have the crew around me, and we'll joke around in between takes, or it's I don't know, I find it very satisfying. It's like being a kid on the playground again.
You've been in the business, on both sides of this business, for a while now.
Oh yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
there are many who don't have that kind of longevity. I mean, you've been on some top shows. You've got your music as well. Your family as well. You seem to be doing it all well. Is there a secret?
Is there? Always have a good sense of humor. Appreciate the moments. You know, my biggest gig, obviously, is my two kids. I got these two boys, you know, who crack me up. Who actually, if it wasn't for them, I don't know if I would have written these albums. I don't know if I would have had the courage to actually put pen to paper and write these stories. But it's a balancing act, man, and it's you know, listening, it's respect, and it's also having the courage to try something that might terrify you. Which is kind of how I operate, I guess.
Well, it's worked so well, and Jill, it's great to see you, and congratulations on this latest album and your family and everything else.
I got a show tomorrow night, Adelaide Hall, 7 o'clock. My twin sister Jack will be there singing, and the album's out universally, actually. HMV Digital, iTunes, Friday.
Congratulations again.
Thank you so much.